Hi everyone, this is Veronica. Today we are going to discuss about credibility of Indian statistical system. So this is very important video as government has scrapped few statistics recently by NSO. We'll discuss in detail then what is the credibility of Indian statistical system. For my video updates and queries, you can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook because I feel together we can make a difference. Now let me tell you here about the StudyIQ premium content. Now you can become the member of our channel at ₹159 per month only, and there are perks regarding these being the member of StudyIQ, because here you will get exclusive content which won't be accessible to other students by Dr. Gaurav Garg, daily current affairs, monthly banking awareness, monthly best 200 current affairs by Prashant Dhawan, monthly compilation of most important geopolitical and IR issues by Dr. Mahipal Singh Rathore, monthly 5 premium videos. Now here let me tell you that we have launched Madhya Pradesh PSC Prelims test series also. You will get 10 tests and 1 demo at ₹1,500 only. For additional information, you can log on to www.testiq.in. So now what is the relevance of this topic in your exams? Mains paper 3 under Indian economy. Objective level, you should know about various institutions of statistics in India. Mains level, government statistics reliability. So now what is the context of today studying this, because the government, as I told you, has decided to scrap the Consumer Expenditure Survey. So which expenditure survey has been scrapped? The Consumer Expenditure Survey, which was conducted by NSO, that is National Statistical Office, during 2017-18. Because government has accused them of data quality issues, that the data is not up to the mark. So the credibility of Indian statistical system has come under scrutiny yet again, because this has happened before also. So now what does this survey reveal? According to the survey, if we compare with 2011 and 12 data, monthly per capita consumer expenditure has fallen by 3.7% in 2017-18. So here we are comparing it with 11-12. This is the first decline in at least 4 decades. From last 40 years is the first decline. So while spending in urban areas, it went up by just 2%, but there is a massive decline in the rural areas by 8.8%. So the government's decision to reject the report means India will not have a new poverty estimate until the next survey is undertaken. The revision in the GDP, gross domestic product base year, would also have to wait, because what is the base year? See, whenever you read in newspapers that economy is growing, GDP is growing by 5%, 7%. So there is always a base year from which it is compared. So that base year I am talking about, the revision of the base year would have to wait. Now the government has also withheld the periodic labor force survey also, which showed the unemployment rate 6.1, that is a 45-year high. So in a way, government is not accepting all the surveys, because government has a different narrative of economy and employment, but the data is showing us that this is declining. Now, what are the findings of this survey? Since overall economic growth has slowed, we all know this significantly since 2017-18, it is likely that consumption expenditure in rural areas might have slipped further. So this is very worrying and indicates a reversal in poverty reduction. The government seems to have no faith in data presented by NSO. Simply rejecting the survey has raised questions over whether the decision was prompted by the government's unwillingness to accept data that doesn't suit its narrative. So now it is possible that the results were significantly affected by demonetization and the introduction of GST, because these were the latest changes, demonetization and then your GST. So effect could be over the data, but there is significant difference between the estimates of consumption by CSO, that is controlled by central government, and NSO. So while the difference itself is not new, because every time we used to see this difference, but the widening which is where the attention goes. The widening divergence deserves attention also. And since CSO and NSO data on consumption presents a completely different picture, it is bound to raise questions about the efficiency of statistical system, because both are statistical offices and there is such a wide divergence of in the results of data what they have produced. So therefore, now it is time to revamp India's statistical system and enable it to collect, process and disseminate information with speed and accuracy. The GDP data comes with a significant lag and is subject to large revisions which affects decision making. Now, what is the view at broader level? See, at broader level, the importance of credible and timely data cannot be overstated. Decision making, because if we have the data, only then the government can do the policy making, could do the decision making. This is true for both the private sector and the government sector. Decision making in both government and the private sector depends upon the state of economy. It is important to note that GDP data is already under a cloud because doesn't match high frequency indicators. So here, withholding data and rejecting official surveys results will further damage the credibility of the system, and this non-availability and the unwillingness of the government to accept survey findings, it will actually hurt its ability to make policy decisions. As I told you, we totally depend upon the data for it. Further, the private sector would be reluctant to invest if there is no clear picture of the economy and suspects official data. The government would be well advised to address the problems in both the economy and statistical systems, but being in denial mode is no solution. So, what could be the way forward here? See, the solutions call for action by the institutions responsible for gathering data, by investing in continuing research on improving what they can improve. We can improve the sampling, right? Sampling design can be improved. Then we can improve the field survey methods. We can improve on our already holding methods, and then validation of data. Okay, that is important. So correcting these deficiency is entirely the domain of government. Then this is what government can do. Then NSO needs to work independently and remain outside the political influence. This can be done by bringing the NSO under NSC and re-establishing the NSC and form statutory body through the act passed by the government. Further, NSO should be given sufficient budgetary allocation and adequate number of trained field staff in order to improve quality of the surveys. For example, the NSSO surveys, they command wide respect among academics, state government and non-governmental organizations as most reliable and comparable basis of discussions in the public policy arena. This is based on their well-earned reputation of professionalism, independence and integrity. But however, government is again, after even NSSO, declining their data somewhere also. Okay, so this is the way forward, what government should do, what these statistical institutions should do. But then let me tell you here about little history, evolving history of statistical institutions of India. So over the past 2 months, as I told you, Indian National Statistics and the organization that administer them have faced a volley of criticism. While declining the data quality has been an issue for a while, concern over institutional independence is new. So here let me tell you about the pioneering history of India's statistical enterprise. The growth of India's vast national statistical infrastructure, it dates back to its first decade as an independent country. The birth of a new nation led to an explosion of national statistics based on the need to plan the economy through 5-year plans that we have seen. Then the years would see the establishment of statistical advisor to government. Then you see NSS, National Sample Surveys, CSO, National Income Committee that made the estimate similar to GDP measurement. So here the moving spirit behind these developments were Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis, whom Jawaharlal Nehru described as presiding genius of statistics in India, and even the institute that he founded in Calcutta, ISI, Indian Statistical Institute. So the success we have seen in Indian statistical endeavors, just look at the statement by Edward Deming, American statisticians. He said, no country, whether developed or underdeveloped or overdeveloped, has such a wealth of information about its people as India. So even the Singaporean statistician, his name is YP Seng, he said he observed that by comparison that China had no genuine statistics, and so India as an example of using surveys would serve as a guide and example worthy of imitating. So methods which are actually pioneered by National Sample Survey, they have become the norm for household surveys across the globe. For example, the Living Standard Measurement Study surveys conducted in several countries by the World Bank can trace their lineage back to the work of Indian statisticians associated with the Indian Statistical Institute and the National Sample Survey. So what we can conclude here, this is the conclusion here, it is very important for your exam writing also, that you have to give a positive outlook. The distinguished history which India can claim with pride. Obviously with statistics I told you few successes what the people around the globe said about us. It makes recent undermining of the credibility of our statistical output especially regrettable. But we can, however, ensure that when we look back on this several years from now, it represented anomaly rather than lasting irreparable loss of institution credibility. So in the end you can conclude what I told you. We should work over the infrastructure, we should work over the capacity building. So here I told you we should work over the sampling, field surveys, validation, and what government can work upon, what NSO and CSO can work upon, right? So that is how you write in the way forward. So this is all about today. Thank you. So this is the channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for UPSC or any government exam, our pen drive and tablet courses are available. If you're preparing for UPSC CSE 2020, our pen drive course is available where you can find 100% coverage of UPSC vast syllabus. Daily current affair updates will be available. Self-paced learning process is provided. This course has been prepared by top faculties of StudyIQ, and now you can purchase this course at Rs 625 per month only. For additional information, you can visit our site, and there are the phone numbers also given. You can call them and gain the additional information. You can connect with me for my video updates on Instagram and Facebook, because I feel together we can make a huge difference. For queries, you can even email me. Thank you so much.